Guys, deluded, YouTube's Lucas Torreira, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in. If you're a consistent viewer or regular viewer, you know about the thing already. If you don't, welcome, because I know you've seen a lot of nonsense on Twitter and it's difficult for me to cut through a lot of the noise, but you've now managed to find me in it and you're going to stay here. So hit the subscribe, hit the like and do all the rest of that. But moving on in it, I've said this point before. Our whole approach to defending, generally speaking, away from Unai Emery now, just generally about Arsenal, we don't respect defending. Do I think am I saying these players don't recognise the importance of needing to defend? I'm not suggesting any of that. But for me as a fan, I don't think we recognise defending. We recognise and respect defending purely because for years, we've really regressed now, but for years, you would, whether Arsenal was competing for titles or not, you would attribute us with style of play, pretty football. We might give you a game, but ultimately the spine and not defending properly and all of these things is what will cost us long term. That is very true. And I've said this before, you see the same mistakes the first team make, the under-23s make it. Now, the under-23s and under-18s, they're learning their craft. You expect that from them. And mistakes happen at first team level. But when it's the identical mistakes at all levels, from what I've seen in highlights, watching games and just positioning, I have to question our approach because it comes from the nucleus down. It comes from the head down. Now, Unai Emery has just come to the club, so I'm not attributing none of this to him because he's trying, innit? If we go down next season and season before that, or after that, sorry, and he's still here, then I'll ask him questions. But for me, don't respect defending. Even if you just look at the two results the under-23s have had, they were winning 1-0. They scored in the 90th minute against Brighton, for example. Then they conceded in the 90th minute. The 6-5 between a great City side, no harm in losing to that side. They were winning 3-1 at half-time and then lost it at 6-5. So, again, that shows you, for me anyways, that there's a lack of real respect for defending. We don't know how to defend at all levels. We don't really respect defending at all levels. And it's backed up because, as well, again, obviously, there's a couple, and I'm being harsh, but all the talents at Arsenal that you attribute with breaking through, when has anyone been a defensive-minded player or a centre-half? It has not been. You say Bielik and stuff like that, and cool, he's cool, but the level of defensive prospect, and Osei Tutu got his chance in pre-season, let's give him that. But for that's two names. You have to sit there and think for defensive prospects coming through or getting chances. You got Medley who's decent, but Ballard, I don't know if he gets his chance, but he's come a long way from almost having to sign a scholarship from Stevenage after being rejected to being the captain and stuff. So you have to struggle. You're really struggling and have to think hard to think of 5 names, people. Am I lying? But attacking talents, you can list them. You can list Michi, Saka, who ironically can play right back, Coyle, Balogun, bare names, innit? You can sit here and list bare names, people, innit? So there's something wrong with our club. Again, because of the way we like to play football and all of these things, we're always going to be a more attacking central side. That's what I want to see that. But I would like to see 1, more defensive prospects coming through, and 2, at all levels, the approach to defending must improve, because I know it's not the replication from first team to under-18s that I want to see, but I do honestly believe the first team and how the under-18s play should all replicate each other. It all should. Obviously, the under-23s and 18s, concentration for 90 minutes, and they're still learning their craft. So I'm not being harsh on them or getting at them. I'm just simply using them to hone in on the point that our whole defensive thingy at this club, whatever the word is, our outlook on defending just isn't quite there. And until it's there as a whole, we can't win anything. Now, the under-23 showed they could win something, because last year they won the league and they got to a final. Unfortunately, they lost. But us, what are we saying? So, yeah, it's not a dig. And if I'm harsher as well, I know Unai Emery is coming in and doing double sessions, so the fitness is probably involved. But every time I watch the reserves or whatnot, or under-23s, especially against the Chelseas or the Cities and stuff, our players are always getting cramped. Now, they're still young lads, especially the first-year scholars, which like last year against the under-18s, for the under-18s against Chelsea's equivalent, they're still learning their craft, people. But I have to question fitness levels, because every time I watch this, I'm seeing people pull up. I'm seeing people come off injured. I'm not no physio, I'm no doctor and these things, so I don't know, innit. If there's no problem there and this is just coincidental, then cool. I'm not saying I know more than anyone in that particular subject. I'm just commenting on what I simply see as a honest fan who watches the thing. Like, I have to question these things. Yeah, man, this is just something I've said it last year. Those of you that have followed me long enough know I've said it, but I felt with the last recent results, this was an opportunity to reiterate this fact, to be honest with you guys. On that note, guys, deluded, stay safe, get in the comments, subscribe, like the thing for me, and do the rest, man. I'm out. Stay safe, like I said.